Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 33rd episode of our gaming news podcast, the PackCast. This is the first episode of 2020. Very excited to be here. Our host today, as always, we have Cool Trainer Camillo, we have the Geneva, we have Dan from the Tea Lounge, and we have me, Phil Fantastic. Today, we took a little bit of a break. Let's not jump right into today right away. We took a little bit of a break for the holidays, and we're excited to bring you great new content this year. So don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, ring that notification bell, and also you can check out the audio version of this podcast on Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. Okay. Now that the plugs are out of the way, let's get into this week's news. We've got plenty to talk about. The final Smash character for DLC Pack 1 was announced. It's game delay season, and I lost a bet to John. We'll talk about that later. We are going to talk about our New Year's gaming resolutions. We're going to talk about the Pokemon Direct. And we're going to talk about what we think is game of the decade. And as always, we're going to round the show out with what's coming out this week and what we've been playing. So let's get into our first story. Smash DLC. The final character for Pack 1.
Who's excited? I'm excited.
If you haven't heard yet, and you're literally getting your news here, that's kind of cool. But also maybe open Reddit every once in a while. Check it out. All right, so it's Byleth. I don't know why I'm waffling. I like to say waffle because of that Nintendo Life guy. I'm waffling about. It's a really good impression. All right, let's do a little bit of roundtable discussion. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's the how many? What number? 8?
Eighth.
The eighth.
It's the 8th Fire Emblem character in Smash Brothers. A lot of people were upset because Reggie Fils-Aimé, back when he was the president of Nintendo America, right?
Yep.
He had said that it wasn't going to contain characters from series that were already in the game. It wasn't going to contain characters from series that were already in the game. And Fire Emblem already had 7 characters. So people are like, ah! And the internet exploded. And everyone was super toxic and awful, which has been happening like a lot recently.
Yeah.
Have you guys been noticing? It's kind of a trend.
Yeah, it's a trigger warning like everywhere you go.
Like Pokemon has been super toxic. I don't know. That's just my one example. But what do you guys think? I'll throw it over to you, John, because I know you're super excited about Byleth. What did you think about the announcement?
So I'm disappointed in the announcement as much as everybody else is. But like Byleth makes complete sense. They have all the other main protagonists from, Awakening and all the main stories. So Byleth makes sense to be in the game. I don't like how they made them a character in this fighter pass. Like, they said what Reggie said, that we would have only representatives from games that we've never seen before. And it's such an anticlimactic end to this pack.
Exactly.
Like when you think about the pack as a whole, like you start off high with Joker, like everybody was hyped about that. Then Hero, right? Heroes was next.
Yep, Hero from Dragon Quest.
And people are like lukewarm on that, but then you peak at Banjo.
Yep,
which is like my favorite DLC character.
Dude, they peaked hard on Banjo.
Yeah,
all over Banjo. They peaked.
And then Terry was like, okay, whatever. We'll see if we get anything better the next for the last fighter, and then they announced a Byleth. Like,
so strange,
so anticlimactic. And it was more of a Fire Emblem Direct than a Smash.
How do you figure?
Yeah, because he was "This is Fire Emblem." Yeah. We don't know what Fire Emblem is, even though we've had 7 characters already in this game. Like.
He explained Fire Emblem Three Houses in depth.
Oh, that's right. I scrubbed that. I was like, I already know what this is. I don't need to watch. Thanks, Sakurai, but I don't need to watch this. I forgot about that.
Personally, I like the Fire Emblem characters. I use Ike a lot. I like Roy and I like
Lucina. Lucina's really good. I like Lucina.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're fun to use. Like they're easy to learn characters because they're sword fighters. But I wish it was something else. Our only saving grace is the
DLC Pack 2?
Fighter Pack 2, yeah.
Yeah, with 6 characters instead of 5 this time.
Which technically we had 6 with
Piranha Plant.
Yeah.
But Piranha Plant was pre-order bonus, was it not?
It was free, but you could buy it if you didn't like buy the game in time.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I wonder how much the fighter pass is going to be. Like, is it going to be $25 like the first one, or is it going to be $30 to include a new character?
No, I think it'll be the same because I think the first one really counts as 6. Like the first one was just like a freebie.
I think they'll charge 30.
Yeah, I think they're going to go 30
because it's 6 a piece or 30 if you buy the pack, right? Because it's not they're not $4.99, they're $5.99.
Yeah, it's $6 if you buy it separately.
Yeah, so you save money if you buy the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'll just throw in my 2 cents, which are very similar to your 2 cents. It just seemed like not a great note to end the pack on. Like, I think that the Terry thing was cool for some people, and I respect that, like, you know, Smash is a fighting game, and like that representation from that fighting game probably needed to happen, so that's cool. But like, he wasn't for me. But like, we were all waiting, and I'm gonna throw it over to Camillo here because where's Sora, man? Like, how did that make you feel?
I don't know. I was thinking I wasn't like getting my hopes too high. I was thinking he was going to be a fighter, like the pack 2. He was going to be in the pack 2, but like I would have been okay with Dante. People were saying, "Oh,
yeah,
be Dante."
Yeah. Well, that was like a whole like thing.
Like, why the last character in this Fighters Pass is just like a weird placement. Like,
there's rumors that, you know, they couldn't fit whoever the last fighter was gonna be, and they had to just like throw in Byleth. But I mean, I think that's just kind of people trying to justify what they did.
And then I streamed my reaction, and like people in the morning were like, "I woke up at 6 a.m. for this."
Yeah,
like I could have told you Byleth was going to be in Smash.
That's hilarious.
I thought it was a troll. I thought the whole time, I'm like, they're gonna reveal somebody after this. Like, there's gonna be somebody at the end, and that's gonna be the true fighter.
Nope.
And we're just gonna get Byleth for free. But nope.
I was already up, actually, because I was still kind of jet lagged. So I was like getting up earlier, going to sleep earlier from my massive trip that I was just on. If you guys were wondering why I was gone. What was I going to add to that? Something relevant. Oh, the tweet. The Devil May Cry tweet with the date. Did we ever find out like what that date meant?
It was for the Devil May Cry 3 special edition on Switch.
Oh, okay.
But I thought for sure that was coinciding with this freaking direct.
Yeah,
like they could have shown.
They'd be allowed to do that though. I don't.
Well, all he said is this is an important date.
Yeah, they just said pay attention to this date.
Yeah,
this is interesting. Dan, you're not the biggest Smash fan, but what do you think about this announcement?
I think that it kind of is what it is. Like, if they said one thing and then they kind of went against it, on one hand, yeah, it's not cool, but on the other hand, a long time has passed since they made that announcement, and
he don't work there no more.
Yeah, companies can change their minds. Companies can listen to feedback from people. Maybe a lot of people wanted this. Who knows?
Nope.
Yeah, probably not. But
I think
it is a little weird of a choice. There are so many other characters that so many people have been wanting that to add another one from this series is kind of weird.
Well, to be fair, the Fire Emblem community is very loud. And when I went into the Fire Emblem subreddit after the announcement, people were like, da 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 da. Like, I can't sing the theme song, but like it was just like people were so excited.
There's one person on my Discord, Chris. Shout out to Chris. He is so pumped for Byleth and Smash, and I get it. Like, if you really like Fire Emblem 3 Houses, then this is awesome for you.
Yeah. I also wonder if this might in part be kind of like a cross-promotional thing where they're trying to like ferry some players from one game into the other and vice versa.
Oh, for sure.
They announced DLC for 3 Houses the same day.
Yeah.
So it could very much be a political
they did the same thing with Smash Wii U/3DS because Corrin, which is the protagonist of Fire Emblem Fates.
Yep.
They released them like the same time Fates came out on 3DS. So it's all cross promotion. Like they have this platform, they have Smash Brothers to do that. I don't blame them for doing it. It just sucks the way they implement it in like the final character in the Fighter Pass.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're looking forward to DLC Pack 2, which we can pre-purchase on January 28th. Is that true?
I think it comes out. Oh, you know what's nice about this?
What?
I don't think the servers are going to crash. I'll be able to get it right away.
Yikes. That's a little bit of assault there for you, Nintendo. Okay, cool. Final thoughts, anybody? I think we kind of nailed it. All right.
Play Fire Emblem.
Yeah, play Fire Emblem. It's a very good franchise. If you don't have a Switch yet, you still have a 3DS, start with Awakening. It's probably the best one. Alrighty, let's move into our second story of the day, which are multiple stories smashed into one, which is all the game delays. It's like 2020 came around and we're all just kind of like, all right, a bunch of new games. We're like so excited. Like so many great games are coming out. And then all these developers are like, ooh, we're not quite ready yet. Which I am a firm believer of the, what is it? Is it Shigeru Miyamoto's thing where he's like, a delayed game is like eventually good, but a bad game is bad forever or something like that?
Yeah.
Like I'm a firm believer in that statement.
But I don't like. All right, I don't think it's relevant anymore.
To some extent,
patches.
You could patch it, and also you don't have to announce like Final Fantasy Remake. I don't know when that was announced. Like 9 months ago or whatever.
You don't need to put a date.
When they announced the date.
Oh, that was E3, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what almost 7 months in advance, or almost a year in advance. Like you don't know.
They thought they
don't give a date.
I will say that I'm kind of sick of games being released that are basically in beta state, and they expect all of the customers who purchase it to be beta testers.
Agreed.
Yeah, not many games do that. Like there are a couple notable ones. There's Anthem, and then
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky was a hugely disappointing experience, from what I understand when it first came out.
But when you think about the mass like releases, we have releases every week.
Battlefront 2.
It's all like it's the minority that does that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And then there are games that like release as a full game and then they keep adding stuff. And there is a difference. Like Super Mario Maker 2. That was a complete game that they released, and then they've been adding stuff and making it even better. Yeah, that's the way to do that.
But there's also an argument that it wasn't a complete game if you're still adding stuff.
Right. That's the other side of the fish.
I like the fact that games, even if they're like, we know what we're doing or we're not putting it in right away, it keeps me coming back to a game. It keeps the life cycle of that game alive for like longer than 6 months. It's like, okay, well, we're coming back because this Christmas there's new stuff. Like, let's keep coming back to this game. And then it's not like Super Mario Maker is going to sit on my shelf. I'm going to play it for a few years. And that way, I'm ready for a sequel when it comes out. Like, I actually feel like I really played it for a long time and not.
Yeah. A lot of people just ignore that. And they're like, well, it should have been in the base game. Like, why? Why do I have to pay for extra?
I mean,
you don't have something we're going to talk about later.
To stick with Mario Maker just real quick, just to finish my point. They don't make you pay. And that game requires a strong online community to like continually make levels. So for them to release more content to get people to make more levels over time so the game doesn't get stale is like in their best interest. So
Yep.
I think that's like they sort of have to set the game up in that model. Otherwise the online community will die and move on.
Yeah, it's a complete contrast from games like there was a Tony Hawk game that like had almost nothing on the disc because the game wasn't ready when they started shipping the game.
Was that 6?
And they had a day one patch. I don't remember which one it was, but
I mean, all the Tony Hawks,
I think it was
like
6.
Garbage.
I reviewed 6. It was one of the first games I ever reviewed on my personal channel. And I was like, this game is trash. And I did have to download like a jillion gigs, and it didn't fix anything. It was still horrible.
I think it was like the game. There was almost nothing on the disc itself, which is going to be a nightmare for collectors, like retro collectors down the road.
Yeah. What are they going to do?
Yeah, the companies don't care about retro collectors, and it's sad. They should, to some extent.
You have to install everything anyway, though.
Yeah.
You have to install everything now.
Yeah.
So it's not technically even on the... It's not on the disc.
Let's move away from the collector discussion and back to the game delay discussion. So we have Final Fantasy VII got delayed from March 3rd to April 10th, which means that I lost a bet to John. I'm going to stick to my word. I'm going to mail him a physical copy as slowly as freaking possible. Mail. I'm going to hire a task rabbit to bike it to you.
You can courier it, or a Pony Express, whatever they used to use.
Whatever the slowest possible means to get a hard disc to you is what I'm going to do. But I'm not upset about this. Like I said before, like the Shigeru Miyamoto thing. Was it already delayed once?
No, I mean, it's already been delayed. You're going to make him wait even longer?
Yeah, of course. It's not like he's going to play it.
Yeah, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to let it sit on my shelf.
Yeah, it's just a little trophy.
Bill had to buy this for me.
It's a little trophy for him. I'll sign it, and you should not even open it, and then one day it'll be worth something.
Just send it to each of us so we can sign it on the way to John.
Oh, that'll be great.
I'm so vindicated right now. Like, I don't know how many episodes we have talked about this.
Well, probably a couple more because it's still not out yet.
But you guys are like, no, there's trailers out, there's gameplay out.
It's just I almost swore. It's like not that much longer. It's 5 weeks. What the hell are you going to do in 5 weeks?
For now.
Whatever. If it gets delayed again, you have to buy it for me.
No, that's not how that works.
No, I can't just change the bet.
Can't reverse card me.
Okay, so we're playing Uno now. Okay,
did we say the game that got delayed?
Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think okay. Final Fantasy VII. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Unless you guys had anything else to say about Final Fantasy VII.
Nope.
That's pretty much it. All right,
play the original.
Cyberpunk, I haven't beaten it yet. Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed from April 16th until September 17th. It's 5 months. That's a pretty big delay. 5 weeks for Final Fantasy VII. 5 months for Cyberpunk 2077.
There was some weird article that came out from this, and like people were tweeting and saying, hey, that's fine, take all the time you need, give your developers some time to not have to deal with the crunch. Like some article came out saying that CD Projekt Red said that the developers are going to be working overtime to
to hit the 5 months.
Yeah,
dang.
I'm like, wow.
I mean, whatever, man.
If EA was saying that, they would have been like,
they would have got roasted.
Strung up, yeah.
They would have got roasted.
Seeing as the initial release trailer or the initial teaser was like 7 or 8 years ago, I can wait a little longer.
Yep.
Personally.
It honestly, cool. It doesn't feel like it's the year for Cyberpunk 2077. I honestly thought I might be waiting until 2077 to play Cyberpunk. I'm sure I'm not the only person to say that joke. But like that game felt far off, and it still feels far off. The fact that it was coming out in April was like surprising to me.
They should just push it to next gen.
I think it's going to be cross.
Probably there's
cross platform or cross. I don't remember what that term is, but cross gen. I think it probably will be. Well, I think they've all said they're being backwards compatible, so maybe they'll use more cores.
Advantage of the new hardware.
All the threads and cores, and
you can't do 8K native
teraflops,
60 FPS.
Oh God. So that's cool. I got enough games right now, and I didn't think that Cyberpunk was actually coming out in April, so I'm not that worried. The next game that was delayed is a game that I don't really care about personally because I don't play horror games, which actually might change, and we'll talk about that later in the podcast. Dying Light 2 is delayed from spring 2020 to TBD 2020, potentially fall. We didn't get that piece of information before we started recording, but it's TBD, according to the press release from the CEO. Thoughts? Dying Light 2?
I played a bit of the first one, but I'm not So I mean, maybe I'll play the second one. I don't know. Eventually, when it's like cheap.
I like the concept of it. Like it's a zombie game, but it's like parkour. So that's kind of cool. Then they also have, I think the Dying Light 2 has like dynamic decisions or something. So if you decide to, kill somebody, that will affect your game the whole time.
Makes it more like the Walking Dead games, the Telltale games.
Yeah.
Gosh, those games are good. I don't have much else to say about Dying Light 2. It doesn't matter that it got delayed. I wasn't going to buy it anyway.
Yeah, as far as horror franchises go, I played like Resident Evil, the first one, and I enjoyed the puzzle solving more than the horror, and it was kind of like comedy in it almost.
Well, you're playing on PS1, so it's not like
that one's pretty dated.
Very well. It was hilarious, and that's how I like my horror. Not horror.
Yeah.
With lots of polygons.
Yeah.
lots of puzzle solving and other things.
Triangle dogs.
Lots of triangles. Many pointy triangles. Cool. A game that I'll move on. A game that I'm disappointed about. I probably was gonna buy this right when it came out. Is the new Avengers game from Square Enix. A lot of people are kind of hating on it. It doesn't look.
I hope they change the whole character models.
I don't think that they... It's like a hybrid. They based the cinematic universe off the Marvel Ultimates, as far as I can remember. Like the Avengers Ultimate or whatever, Ultimate Avengers. And someone can correct me, some comic book aficionado. I was going to say nerd. Some comic book aficionado can correct me in the comments. But... I just think it looks like the Ultimates kind of mixed with Square Enix takes, mixed with the movies take. It's a big amalgamation. It's like you can't make Iron Man look that different. Like his costume looks the same in the comics as it does in the movies. So like why would they like depart so hard to make John be like, this looks different, yay?
Well, no, it's just like it's too close. Like it's too close, but so, it's just not right.
Are you saying the movies? I see.
Different.
Like it's just like I don't know. Like they look similar, but not similar enough.
Is it like Uncanny Valley kind of thing, where it's just not quite right and it nags?
Yeah, I don't know. Then the voices are like they're different voices. It's just when you have a huge cinematic universe like Marvel.
Yeah,
people are gonna associate everything that looks like the MCU with the MCU. So people are going to see that game and be like, oh, that's part of the MCU.
But also there's the point of view where you're like, oh, well, this isn't what I'm used to, so I don't like it. So like, for example, Rocket Raccoon is a weird, like had like a British accent and was really weird. And his costume looked like he was Union Jack. Like, it was just really weird.
What, in this game?
No, in like, say like Lego Marvel, before like Guardians of the Galaxy was a movie, like with other portrayals of Rocket Raccoon, either in the comics or in like the Lego
I get that.
games.
I understand what you mean.
So like people are like, well, that's not the Rocket I like because he's not like a sassy Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there are like references in like Spider-Man from a couple of years ago to the MCU, or is it just Marvel? Who knows? Because it's things that have appeared in the MCU and they look like their MCU counterparts, but that could be because they're designed from comic books.
Very true.
Speaking of the MCU,
yeah, let's roll right into. I don't have a VR setup, so I don't care that this game is getting delayed. Iron Man VR. It looks cool because it looks like you can. It's like you are. What is the stupid thing that they said with Batman and Spider-Man? It feels like you're Iron Man. You know, like I think it'd be cool to like put on the suit and like put the visor down and be like in the suit and fly around and potentially vomit. That seems like a fun experience to me. I would like to try that out, but yeah, again, the game's delay, that doesn't really affect me.
VR is. I don't care about VR.
I wish
another game that got delayed this week. So.
Yeah. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 game delays this week.
What's next?
Well, yeah, what's next?
Next?
Animal Crossing?
Yeah, honestly, do you think it's next?
I think it has the highest potential, except for Nintendo released a graphic that showed like their release dates for 2020, and Animal Crossing still had March 20th, 2020, and there's like in-store advertisements that say March 20th. So I think we're okay there. I hope we're okay
got delayed to heck. That got delayed so many times.
Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Resident Evil 3 remake probably could get delayed. Neo 2 I think comes out soon, and that could get delayed.
Interesting. Speaking of Nintendo games, let's take a short break. We'll be back after this short message from the editor.
Hey everyone, Dan here with just a quick interruption to tell you about our Instagram and Twitter channels. We are now posting to Instagram and Twitter regularly, so if you haven't followed us over on Instagram and Twitter, be sure to do so. Links in the description below. Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay, now we're going to move into the Pokemon Direct. That was on January 9th, 2020. We realized that was like 2 weeks ago at this point. However, we didn't get to talk about it, and our opinions are probably the most valid opinions on the internet. So in the Pokemon Direct, there were 2 announcements. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, which is a remake of the original Red and Blue Rescue Team. That's actually coming out on March 6th, and there was a demo that launched on that day. It was about an hour worth of content. If you guys want to check that out, the demo is live. Check it out. But the most important news, as far as I'm concerned, is the Sword and Shield expansion pass, which it's never been done. There's never been an expansion pass for Pokemon. It's always been a new game or a revised game. So I'm going to throw it over to Cool Trainer Camillo, who is our resident Pokemon expert, who can succinctly talk about all of this news that was announced on the 9th.
So, yeah, the Pokemon Company decided to announce the expansion pass, which is going to take the place of what they've been doing with their enhanced versions of games like we've gotten with like Pokemon Platinum and Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And this expansion pass is coming in 2 parts. The first part's coming in June 2020. It's called the Isle of Armor. And then we're getting a second pack in fall, which is called the Crown Tundra. So each of these packs is going to include 100 Pokemon each for you to catch. So these will be adding Pokemon to the decks of the game. You don't need to buy the DLC to get these Pokemon, but that's really cool. I'm
you have
glad
to trade
that they're
them,
adding.
though.
Yeah, you
right?
can transfer them up.
Okay.
Or trade. Yes.
But you can't catch them unless you have the DLC.
Yeah. And the Isle of Armor is introducing 2 new legendaries, Kubfu and Urshifu. Kubfu evolves into Urshifu. They said you get Kubfu at some point in the story of the DLC, and they didn't say if it's version exclusive. They said there's some decision in the DLC where it will evolve into the 2 styles. One is single strike style, which is fighting dark, and then the other one is multi-strike style, which is water fighting. And each of them have Gigantamax forms, and they have their own Gigantamax moves, which
interesting,
pretty cool. It's cool that we're getting another legendary that can evolve. I like that they've been doing that.
Yeah, we had Lunala and Solgaleo evolved
from Cosmog.
Yeah, what were the other ones?
Meltan into Melmetal.
Oh, that's right. Isn't he mythical?
Yeah, but there's the argument that a mythical is a legendary kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I don't think that I don't think that warrants discussion right now.
We're also getting and then in the Crown Tundra we're getting a new legendary called Calyrex. He is the half deer thing. He doesn't have a back end, and he has really big brine.
It's also Calyrex is also a cream that you can rub on your feet if you get calluses.
Yeah, he looks interesting, and we are also getting new additions to legendary Pokemon. So we're getting Galarian forms of the legendary birds. We've never had a variant of a legendary before, so that's gonna be really cool, and they look pretty sick. And we're getting new Regis. So I don't think
I
don't think these are forms. I think they're just adding elements to the Regis. So like they showed, I think one's gonna be electric. They're not very like creative with their names, so it might just be like Regivolt or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I think the other one was dragon because it had like a dragon head on the side of it.
Just randomly.
Yeah.
With Elmer's glue. Yeah, I think that the like the Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos, I can do it. They look really cool. I almost wonder if there's a type change. Like Articuno looks a little psychic.
Yeah, I would say so. They usually do
like maybe Moltres is
dark.
Fire dark.
I was gonna say ground electric.
Ooh, that's true, because it could be like an ostrich.
Because look, he's standing on the ground and running.
So maybe they like retain their types, but they like add a type to it.
Yeah, I think so.
Articuno has laser beam eyes.
Yeah.
What?
Dude, it's awesome. They look so cool.
Psychic.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking ice psychic, ground electric, or electric ground, and fire dark, probably. But you never know.
Weird because they're still birds, though, and they're not flying.
Maybe they're introducing triple typing. Okay, what is the last major area? They have two. They all will have wild areas to explore, which is sick, because the current wild area, for me, is getting a little bit stale. So it'd be nice to have 3 different wild areas to explore once all said and done.
The first one is going to have like some sort of like battle facility because we don't really have that in the base game. And the second one is going to have legendary Pokemon returning. So I don't know if it's going to be like, they said raids. I kind of hope it's not like raids because I don't, it's going to be hard to like.
I thought they called them dens.
They did. That's the same as like a raid. But they said there's this new co-op play that they didn't really talk about yet. They just said there's this new co-op mode to play.
I'm down. I love co-op. It's my favorite type of op.
So.
There's also new Gigantamax forms for starters.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What how that's gonna work? Like, do they give you an item and then you could Gigantamax? Or
no, I think they said they're gonna give you there's gonna be a new technique to add the Gigantamax factor to a Pokemon that didn't have it before.
Okay.
Oh.
Because I have a shiny Cinderace and I do not want to not have a Gigantamax one.
You do want to have one?
I want to have a Gigantamax one. I want to make that one my Gigantamax.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Then we got already one Pokemon. They gave us Galarian Slowpoke.
Oh yeah. They hinted at the Slowbro and Slowking, but we didn't really get a good look at it.
And I think each new DLC you could either evolve it into Slowbro.
Yeah, so
in one, and
to
then
evolve
Slowking in the other.
Slowpoke, you need an item from the Isle of Armor to get Slowbro, and then an item in the Crown Tundra to get Slowking.
Very cool. All right, let's, if we can, get out of the weeds a little bit and talk about this in more of a broad sense, since this is such a major change from getting the definitive editions, or however you want to say it,
enhanced,
like the enhanced, the emeralds, the yellows, like moving past that, and or the sequels, Black 2 or whatever, into this new DLC, which seems to be the way that they're going to do it forever now.
Sequels are different. I could still see them doing sequels.
Okay, fine. I will relinquish that. But as far as like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or whatever,
yeah,
they're not going to be
just
doing.
Like they're giving you a game that's the same to shovel you more content, kind of thing.
Which I think is amazing, because I don't want to start fresh, like to get new content. Like that was it's cool, I guess, to play through the game again, but like I don't want to. Like I own, I think, all of those: Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and I paid, around $40 each time. And I would like to just buy DLC, be able to use all the Pokemon I already have without having to transfer them or anything, and continue my journey as if it's the same journey, and not have to deal with like Hop again. You know what I mean? Like I think that's huge, and I'm excited that Pokemon is kind of joining the future, the present, because we've been doing DLC in games since Gen 7. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. What do you guys think about the transition from definitive games to or how are you saying it? Enhanced games, definitive games,
enhanced versions.
Enhanced versions. The move from enhanced versions to DLC. Do you like it? Do you not like it? What do you guys think?
I do. I'm excited for the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a huge problem with them doing enhanced versions.
Mm-hmm.
Because I liked having to start a new adventure. It was kind of like a clean slate.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they're gonna do this DLC where, like, okay, if it's a new story, what's the leveling like? Or am I just gonna bash everything with
you're just gonna destroy everything with level 100s?
Yeah, so that's
I don't know.
I'm like,
that's interesting. Maybe there'll be gyms that have level caps or something. That'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, you can only enter, like, I don't know how that
I feel like
work.
people would complain then.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you spent all the time, like, getting your team to, like, level 100, you can just trump or just, like, trounce the DLC. And that's just, like, you know.
Isn't that kind of what they did with Monster Hunter World? They required you to be at a certain level to access the DLC.
Oh, do you think you'll have to be level 100 to access
there's no
the
way
DLC?
it's 100. Maybe 70. Maybe it's like a post-game thing. Because a lot of their post-game stuff, you probably have to be around 70.
Yeah, probably 70, 75, something like that. That seems right.
I mean, I personally, I love that I don't have to play through that story again.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a slog.
It was one of the worst.
And I'm trying to force myself to do the post game stuff, and it's just not fun. Like, I don't want to go back to a gym, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to do that again.
What I do like about DLC is it keeps a majority of the same people playing, because, like, if you compare the numbers from, like, when, like, Sun and Moon to, like, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, it's like about half they sell.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like more people are more inclined to buy this DLC than like the percentage of people who buy this DLC will be higher than the people who bought Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon to the regular.
Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely true. I think they're going to make a killing.
Yeah, it's like it was the fastest selling Switch game so far.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to sell, who knows, 10 million.
And then I have to buy it twice, the DLC twice, because I have both games.
You don't have to. I haven't bought them twice yet.
Well, if they're going to be the same story, like,
no, it's different.
Really different.
It's different antagonists and stuff.
Oh, okay. But have you played through Sword and Shield, like, separately?
No, I haven't started my Shield yet.
Is it, like, that much different? It's probably not that much.
Gym leaders are different.
Yeah, and you see those for, like, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a valid argument. Anyways, let's wrap it up. Final thoughts on any of the new Pokemon, the fact that they've changed the way that they introduce new content after the game's been released. Anything at all? Or do you think we nailed it?
The internet needs to chill. Like, DLC is a thing.
Oh yeah, what was it was a pretty toxic response from the community.
People are just like, this game is so empty. Like, the reason we're complaining is because the base game was so bad that we needed this. But like, I don't. People are saying, like, well, other DLC is justified because those games were actually good. So like, it's more on top, which of good. Or this is like, this is half baked. So I wanted this in the original. Like,
value is subjective. They're still going to buy it. Doesn't matter. They're still going to buy it.
And I can't stand the people who are like, they're paywalling the Pokemon. No, they're not. You can get them for free.
You can get them for free. That's a good statement. Dan, you don't own Sword Shield, do you?
Nope.
Okay, moving on. Let's see. We have just a fun little ending here. We're going to talk about our New Year's gaming resolutions, and then we're going to talk about our game of the decade. Just because it's 2020, it's a new decade, and it's a new year. we just kind of wanted to talk about some cool stuff. So we're going to talk about our New Year's gaming resolutions first. John, what are your New Year's gaming resolutions for 2020?
So I'm going to try to not buy as much and actually beat some games that I already own.
Yeah.
And I've been doing pretty well. I did buy a game last week. I bought Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Encore? On Switch?
Yeah, Encore. Yeah, on Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, I haven't purchased a game in the year yet. I know it's only a month in, but I'm hoping
It's only 20 days in.
Yeah, I'm hoping to not buy as many because I just don't play them. Mm-hmm. And I have Game Pass, so I automatically have access to a ton of games anyway.
Did you beat Devil May Cry 5?
I did not. I need to go back into that. Mm-hmm. I've been playing through Luigi's Mansion 3, and I love that game. I need to beat that. I did beat one game so far this year. I beat Super Lucky's Tale. That was fun.
You know what we should do is we should, as a game pack, make a list of must-beat games, like backlog games. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Cool. So you don't want to buy as much stuff, and you want to actually beat games. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm not going to say anything sarcastic.
And I mean, at least I get one game for free this year. And I'm freaking pumped.
Awesome. Let's talk about that some more. Cool. All right. Well, I'll talk about what my New Year's gaming resolutions are. When I set out to stream something, I have all these grand ideas like, oh, I'm going to beat every Zelda game, or like, oh, I'm going to do my Tingle 3-heart run. And then I went through my catalog of all my streams and I'm like, I didn't beat Pokemon Platinum. Like, I didn't finish my Tingle 3-heart run. Like, there's just a lot of like starting stuff and like not finishing it. So I want to set out like reasonable streaming goals. Like, I'm started Kakarot today on my stream. I'm going to finish Kakarot on my stream. Like, I'm going to do it. And I'm just not allowed. I'm not allowing myself to not do it.
Move on.
Yeah, I'm just not allowed to move on.
It's probably like a 50-hour game.
So I'm going to beat Kakarot. Like, I started a...
You going to beat Dark Souls?
I beat Dark Souls 3.
Oh, did you? On stream?
Yeah, on stream. Yeah, I beat it that day. I beat Dark Souls 3. So, like, when I stream something, I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna finish it. Unless I'm just doing, like, a quick showcase or something. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, if I set out a goal for myself and you guys see it, I'm gonna do it. And you guys are gonna help me hold me accountable. You can tease me in the Discord and say, hey, whatever happened to that Pokemon Platinum run, man? All right. And then my other goal that I would like to do is get through some of my Gen 7 backlog. And if you guys don't know, Gen 7 is Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U. So I want to get through. I have a bunch of them. Does Wii U count?
I don't know.
That's an 8th gen.
Weird.
It's like or Wii.
I guess Wii. Yeah, Wii U would be in there.
Yeah, so the Gen 7 backlog, and I'm gonna say Wii and Wii U will be included in that. So PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii U. I would like to get through a handful of titles for each of those systems because I have a zillion PS3 games and I haven't beaten any of them. It's just
Does The Last of Us fall in there, or is that PS4?
I have it on both. I'll play it on PS4.
You gotta beat that.
I have to beat it before March. So yeah, those are my New Year's gaming resolutions. Camilo, what about you?
So I've started a lot of really long JRPGs that I just haven't finished, and I play them for like a few hours. And since they're so long, I feel like I didn't even put a dent in it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, whatever. But I really want to beat Persona 5. I need to beat both Ni no Kunis. I feel like I'm like 40 hours into Ni no Kuni. I still haven't beat it yet.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I probably have like 20 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started a few months ago Final Fantasy VII. I'm only 5 hours in, but I want to beat that before the remake comes out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like so many hours of stuff to play. I don't even know how to get through it all.
Yeah, I believe in you. I think we should all help each other with our resolutions and keep each other accountable and be encouraging. Well, that's cool. So you want to beat more of your 100-hour-long JRPGs, some of which were Persona 5 Ni no Kuni, and you had Final Fantasy VII on here as well.
Yeah.
Now we have Dan from the Tea Lounge. What is your New Year's gaming resolution?
Yes. So as far as gaming goes, I've lived in kind of a small bubble. I know the games I like, and I like to play them, and I like them, and I enjoy playing the games I like, and it's like Nintendo, basically, and a few others, like retro games, and it's kind of a small bubble, and I feel like I really want to branch out and play a lot more franchises out of my comfort zone and just really get more of a broad scope of gaming. And over the past few months, I've been building up a mini collection, like a more and more sizable collection as it goes, of video games. So I have like a whole bunch of systems, a whole bunch of games from these systems, and I want to play them all. So I want to play a lot of them. So yeah, that's what I want to do.
Cool. So you want to branch out, play more variety, get out of your comfort zone, increase the size of your bubble.
Yep.
Very cool. All right. Well, we will all support each other in those gaming resolutions this year, and I'm excited to help you guys and excited to achieve my own goals. So let's move on to our game of the decade. There's not really going to be that much of a debate because we don't have much more time left on our VHS tape that we film our podcast on every week. So, John, what's your game of the decade and why?
Well, I will be the only variety here.
Wait, no, never mind. You go last then. My game is Breath of the Wild because it's the best game ever made, and it changed the way that Zelda games are going to be probably played going forward. I would like to see potentially a shift between 3D and 2D games, or the 2D stick to the 8-dungeon format with weapons and stuff, and then Breath of the Wild. But I think Breath of the Wild is going to change the way that environments are interacted with. I think the new Skyrim is going to take a lot from Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild took a lot from Skyrim, and now I think what is it, Elder Scrolls
6
is going to take a lot from Breath of the Wild. You're going to be able to interact with a lot more of the environment, and I think it's just going to change the way that action-adventure games are played. And I think for those reasons, I think that's why it deserves to be Game of the Decade. John, what'd you pick?
So...
Just kidding. Camilo, what did you pick for Game of the Year?
Game of the Decade.
Game of the Decade.
I was going back and forth on this one. I'm going to say Breath of the Wild 2 because when I first played it...
Just thinking that.
Okay. If we're going to get grammar on us. Okay. Yeah, when I played Breath of the Wild, it was just... I don't think I had such a magical experience in the past few years before playing that. I was just so engrossed with it. For the first, 8 hours I played. But yeah, I really hope that it influences the rest of the games. And I do agree with Phil that the 2D ones will have the traditional format and the 3D ones will be like Breath of the Wild, I hope. I can't really see them going back to the 3D style format for 3D games. But yeah, I'm excited to see where we have Breath of the Wild sequel coming up, but I'm excited to see what's coming up after that.
Pretty cool. Dan, what about you?
I also have to say Breath of the Wild.
Whoa!
Stinking amazing. It basically got me back into gaming and into gaming hardcore. Like before I was kind of more casual. I enjoyed video games from time to time, and I had my few that I liked that I played, but hadn't played for a long time. But then Breath of the Wild came out, and I didn't have any interest because I'd never played a Zelda game. But I heard a lot of good things, so I gave it a try, and oh my gosh, so stinking amazing. It revolutionized what I thought gaming could be, I guess I would say, because it's such a giant sandbox. You can go around and just do stuff and have fun and just explore. I love exploration, and this going back to other games that are in a similar large scale exploration, I inevitably end up comparing every single other game in this type of genre to Breath of the Wild, and wishing that they would have done the things more like Breath of the Wild did.
Right.
It's exactly what I wanted it to be, and not even what I wanted it to be, but what it knew that I would have wanted it to be. Like, they nailed it. Like, they simply nailed it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's such a good game.
Definitely revolutionized the genre forever. And they did it, and they kept like a lot of charm in the game. I feel like that's like, oh, there's a lot of like open world things, but this game had just like a lot of charm. There's humor. Like it's beautiful. I almost would go as far to say what Super Mario 64 did to Mario going into 3D, Breath of the Wild did for gaming of this type. Yeah, I might go as far as that. Yeah, I think we're all super curious to see the ripple effect, because there hasn't been an open world game really since Breath of the Wild came out. Like, not in that scale, not from a studio that size. John, game of the decade?
Breath of the Wild. No, I'm just...
wah, wah.
I mean, I really do. Breath of the Wild, like, I would have said Breath of the Wild if everybody else didn't say Breath of the Wild. But my favorite game of this decade, I think, is Bloodborne. It opened me to this whole new genre of games that I did not expect to like. Those brutally hard, so satisfying, just like boss rushes. That's pretty much the whole game. I love the aesthetic. I remember getting this. It came out in like March, and for some reason, games that come out in March, April timeframe always stick with me.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. I remember getting that too. I went midnight to get that. But that's around a time where I don't really like have time to think, so I just like play one game and it really sticks in my mind. And Bloodborne was that for me. I love it so much. I think it's the best PS4 game, and I want it to be different, so I want Bloodborne.
Very cool. Alrighty, well, that wraps up that section. The new releases for this week: on January 20th, we had Moons of Madness on PS4, Xbox One. On January 23rd, we have Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC Remind on PS4, timed exclusive. Mosaic coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. We have Oddworld Stranger's Wrath HD coming to the Switch. Rugby 20? Or just Rugby 20? Rugby 20. Rugby 20 on PS4, Xbox One, PC. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinner coming out on PC. And those are your new releases for this week. If you were looking forward to any of those games, nothing on there sticks out to me at all. It's all a bunch of bland games. I know none of us are excited for any of that.
You know what's sad, though?
I think Cam left.
There's no Stadia releases, and it's just really sad.
Stadia's gonna die. I'm super excited to talk about that on the podcast when that's a news story. I'm so excited that it's gonna die, because I thought it was gonna be terrible, and it's flopping, and they didn't do any good.
The only reason it's flopping is because there's no freaking games.
There's no games. And
that's not the only reason it's flopping.
All right, anyways, guys, we're not talking about Stadia right now. Anyways, so what we've been playing, the final thing we usually talk about, I have been playing, like I said earlier, Kakarot, and I filmed the first 15, and it will be up by the time you are watching this on Thursday, because it's going to go up on Tuesday. So check that out. And I've been playing Breath of the Wild Master Mode, 3 heart only run, and I'm doing okay. I'm not doing that bad. I think I've only died.
It's all that Dark Souls practice.
Yeah. Well, I was playing that, and then I feel like I was prepared for Dark Souls. I was playing that for like 4 streams, and then I did a stream of Dark Souls for like 5 hours and beat the game. So, what have you been playing, John?
I've been playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions on the Switch. I love that game. It's just like J-pop and just amazing combat and waifus everywhere. It's really fun. I really enjoy that game. If you can play it on Wii U, I would check it out. It's really good. I've also been playing Pokemon because I got hype from the Direct. And I've been shiny hunting. I haven't been streaming that really. But I did get a shiny Toxel and 2 shiny Slowpokes. I'm pretty hyped about that. One? I already gave it away because somebody claimed it while I was streaming it.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Dan from the Tea Lounge, what are you playing?
I have been working through Prince of Persia games. I'm doing a franchise run. Started with Sands of Time, went to Warrior Within, and the Two Thrones, because that's like the renewed trilogy that really brought the series into everyone's consciousness. And then playing through Sands of Time, it unlocked Prince of Persia 1 and Prince of Persia 2, so I did those 2.
Side-scrollers, right?
Yeah, those are the 2 side-scrollers, and I didn't beat either of them. I got past the first level on the first game, and then I got...
are those the ones on 360, or the ones on PS2 and stuff?
PS2,
the ones on like
GameCube.
The ones on DOS? What?
No,
like the original
he's talking about the reboot.
What? Oh, there's
a reboot series.
There is, so there's kind of a reboot. There's the side-scrolling 1 and 2, and then there's 3D, which is the third game, and then they rebooted it with Sands of Time, Warrior Within, Two Thrones, and then they kind of rebooted it again with Prince of Persia 2008 for the 360, kind of that one failed and flopped, so they brought it back with the Forgotten Sands after that in 2010.
Yeah, and they killed the series.
Well, kind of. They were developing a new Prince of Persia game that would follow an assassin, meant like that was there to protect the prince, but they didn't want the game to kind of focus on the prince yet again, so they kind of turned that into its own series, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed kind of took over the Prince of Persia franchise, and that blew up. So they kind of stopped making Prince of Persia, focused all their attention on Assassin's Creed. So I'm going to include those kind of in the franchise run as well. And I haven't really played any of those yet, so I'm excited to.
That's going to be a long one. There's like 10 of them.
Yeah.
They're each like 20 hours minimum.
We'll see how far I get, but I'm excited to give them a try, at least. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. And good luck to you on your franchise run. Cool Trainer Camillo, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Hearts, hyping myself up. I was playing some Kingdom Hearts 2 at the level 1 difficulty for a little bit, because I was at one boss, and I just really wanted to get through it, and I finally got through it. And then I switched over to a Kingdom Hearts 3 playthrough, so I could I don't think I'll be able to beat it again before Remind comes out, but I wanted to play some before the DLC comes out, so that's cool. And I just beat Leon's story in Resident Evil 2 on my Dark Dreidel. So I liked it a lot. It was pretty good.
Super cool. All right. Well, that ends our first episode of 2020. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, John, for co-hosting with me this weekend every week. Guys, don't forget to subscribe for all the new videos that we'll be making this year. Hit that notification bell. And if you join the Discord and write comments to us, we will communicate with you. We want to be active with our viewers, so make sure to reach out to us. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We post there every single day. And if you want to do the audio podcast, that's Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. And I just perfectly did all the plugs in the outro. So I think it's going to be a good year, you guys.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped. Let's do it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.